Great day, everyone. My name is Commissioner Nicole Messiah, and I have the distinct honor of serving as your District 3 County Commissioner and Chair of PECS, Planning, Economic Development, and Community Services Committee. I serve alongside my other colleagues and PECS committee members. That's Commissioner Longspears from District 2 and Commissioner Ted Terry from Super District 6. Presently, there is Commissioner Ted Terry along with, and I expect some other colleagues are going to be joining us. We'll get started with our minutes from July 22nd meeting. Committee members, if you have read your minutes, I will entertain a motion to approve.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. Meeting minutes are good, so I'll motion to approve item 1109.
And I will second that. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Our motion carries. Now we will move on to our agenda, but before we do that, I want to take a moment to be able to celebrate our new Chief Housing Officer. That is Mr. Alan Ferguson. Mr. Ferguson, if you wouldn't mind standing and allowing us to give you a round of applause. He is new to our DeKalb County family and governing body, and we are just so excited to have him. We also have a number of other folks that have come on, Mr. Linkus, as I've mentioned, and who is our county attorney now, and also Ms. Njuku, who is our planning and sustainability director, I'm just so excited to work with all of you all. And again, welcome to the DeKalb County family. We will go with the agenda as printed. For those following along, we are on page 1. We will focus initially on the appointments. That is area 2. Agenda item 2025-0922, all commission districts to appoint Mr. Cornell McBride, Jr. to Post 2 of the Development Authority of DeKalb County, Post 2 of the Residential Care Facilities for the Elderly Authority, and Post 2 of the Private Hospital Authority. Mr. McBride, if you could please come with. And committee members, we do have an interview packet related to Mr. McBride, which includes just some questions in addition to a biography. Thank you so much, Mr. McBride. Appreciate you being here with us today.
Thank you. Hello.
Thank you. All right, so if you would mind, just give us just a brief introduction of yourself.
My name is Cornell McBride. I am the president of McBride Research Laboratories, a resident of DeKalb County. I basically lived here all my life, raised in DeKalb County. I've operated a business in DeKalb County since 1990, so I've been here for a minute.
Fantastic. All right, and under your leadership, Design Essentials expanded, so you have, a number of business acumen to your resume biography as well.
Yes, I mean, we started the company in 1990, which is Design Essentials. We've kind of built the brand throughout all distribution channels. We are sold throughout professional salons. We sold in major retail, your CVS, your Walgreens, your Walmart, Target, Ulta, chain salons. We sold internationally as well. And as a company, we've never had a decline in sales, and we've only had losses like once.
And you're in my cabinet in my bathroom as well.
It's nice to hear that.
I do use the products. Thankfully so. All right. So can you tell us briefly how you believe your previous experience qualifies you to sit on the boards?
Sure. I mean, I think when you're on a board like this, and I would approach it this way, DeKalb County and what you're offering for economic development is a product, right? And so you have to kind of understand what is the value proposition of the product, what are the resources that are available in DeKalb County, whether it's your workforce resources, your educational training, and making sure those things are in place because you're actually selling the county.
Right.
So you have to have the right things that business development needs, and I think that's one of the things that I can bring to the board because we're going to look at it as a product that we are selling and we have to make sure all the resources are there.
I completely agree. Thank you for that. And let me ask you another question before I open up the floor to my colleagues who are free to answer any question they may have or one from the proposed list of questions. What role do you think stakeholders and the public play in shaping large development projects? And just another piece to it, what tools would you use as a board member to solicit community feedback and to ensure it influences the proper authorities' priorities?
So first question is, what role do I believe stakeholders? Can you repeat that so I can make sure?
Yes, I'm sorry. So what role should stakeholders and the public play in shaping large development projects?
I think part of what we have to help kind of sell the county when it comes to it. You know, we have to be out there on the front line, making sure that we're engaging other businesses and kind of telling them why they should kind of bring their business or development or what are they doing to DeKalb County. So I think as a stakeholder, that's one of the key roles, to always speak about the county, what's offering, what services are there, and I think that's the most important thing.
Thank you so much. I'm sorry. Can we also get another interview packet and PECS agenda for Commissioner Patrick? All right. And then the second part of that was, what tools would you use as a board member to solicit community feedback and to ensure that it influences authorities' priorities?
Well, I think just as you're kind of trying to kind of bring people into businesses in, I think part of understanding the community is their desires, their wants and needs. And so if I go back to my product development side or marketing, I said it's a product, right? So then you have to also have the place where you're placing development, the audience, the people, those community, what do they need? What are the desires? What the type of development they would like to see? So I don't believe that you bring a business in without having some feel about the stakeholders who are in the community and what the desires are, because you want to align all of those things together.
Agreed. Thank you so much, Mr. McBride, for that. And I'll open up the floor for other committee members now as well.
Thank you.
Commissioner, go ahead. Commissioner Terry.
Okay, all right, thank you, Madam Chair, and I'll just kind of follow our standard questions we give everybody. So as an appointee of the Development Authority, what are your top priorities that you want to focus on during your tenure? And then how do you plan to advise the Development Authority Board regarding those priorities? And maybe just a preface to that. So I know Madam CEO has really made economic development in South DeKalb a priority. Obviously, South DeKalb is kind of a nebulous term, but I think that the intent there is the communities and areas of DeKalb that have been underinvested in should be a priority. So with that in mind, how would you respond in terms of what your priorities will be during your tenure?
I think it's in line. It's the Economic Development Board, right? I think economic development lifts communities. So particularly, we're in the Snapping Industrial Park. We've owned buildings there for years. We've kind of seen that kind of park grow and flourish over the years. And so if you take different areas like that, you have to understand, let's say particularly, what are the resources that are available here? What are the adjacent industries that are available here? And then how can we figure out to bring something that's comparable? So then you have to kind of go in and like study areas so that you can figure out what you're trying to recruit to bring in as well. And I think that's one of the things I would like to see as we continue to do economic development, is how do we go out and find those adjacent industries? And then also you look down the corridor as well, and you look at the economic development. So even if it's not in DeKalb County, but if you go out 20 and you see certain economic development that's taking place, then it could be opportunity to find companies that can support businesses out 20.
Gotcha. Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Terry. Commissioner Longspierce.
Welcome, and thank you so much for being with us today. The next question is, how would you utilize your position on these three boards to work in tandem to address socioeconomic and health disparities across the county?
Well, I mean, sitting on the board, I mean, it's about economic development and it's about community development. Those two, at the end of the day, go hand in hand. And so if you're looking to solve a problem from a business and economic development standpoint, you still have to look and understand, well, what are the issues in the community? And kind of, regardless of the community, you want to help that community, you want to uplift that community, and you want to advocate for them as well. So you're trying to put, it's economic development is not a single thing by itself, it's the community as well. So I think you definitely have to step in and do more for the community and put the two together.
And could you address the health disparities portion of that question?
I think it's all the same. If there are health disparities in any particular area, you have to figure out why are they there, and what are the opportunities to make a change or an improvement. So it could be economic disparities, it could be health disparities. Whatever that disparity is, our goal is to figure out how we can either uplift it, improve it, or make it better.
Wonderful. Thank you, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Commissioner Patrick? All right. Commissioner Bolton? All right. Thank you so much. I just really do appreciate your time here, your commitment and willingness to serve on these boards. I wholeheartedly love the connotation in terms of economic development being in conjunction with community, and they have to work hand in hand, and that has to be the focus. So I appreciate you coming from that perspective and sharing that with us today.
Yeah,
thank you so much.
I appreciate it. Bye.
And next, we will have Miss Olivia Holquist, and this is item number 2025-0995, all commission districts, the reappointment to the Historic Preservation Commission. Again, Miss Olivia Holquist. If you could approach the podium. Thank you so much, Miss Holquist, for being here. And could you just briefly tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. My name is Olivia Holquist. I am an architect. I have 14 years of experience. 13 of those are specialized in historic preservation here in Atlanta. I have to apply for projects that have to go in front of similar organizations as the HPC, and have done so for our HPC prior to joining the board.
Thank you so much. And you are a part of the Kirkwood Neighborhood Association and Zoning Committee. So you're right there at my neighbor. So.
Oh, fun.
I appreciate that. I'll get into just brief questions before I open it up to the rest of the committee. All right. Are there particular goals or challenges that you would like the commission to prioritize during your next term?
There are, but I think we have already started making headway with our current commission. We are already, Paige is spearheading some of the design guidelines that have caused some issues or have not very specific language that are hard to hold things to. So we've been starting to look at that, and I think that we are making what we do more known, and more people are having to come in front of us that might not have known that we exist. But I think with the new signage, that has really helped too.
All right, and can you remind us what motivates you to continue to serve on the Historic Preservation Commission?
Well, I love history, working in historic preservation, and I think it's important that we preserve our past and we're able to, retain all those character-defining features, not only of individual houses, but communities, and how those shape our everyday and how we go forward.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that, and it's very important. We've seen on the news recently some really big challenges.
Yes.
So yes, it didn't come to my attention just how important until I saw it becoming more prevalent on our news. So thank you for that. I'll open the floor up for other committee members. Commissioner Long-Spears?
Sure. Thank you so much. Welcome. Glad that you are present with us today. How do you think the HPC can better engage with the broader community, especially underrepresented or marginalized groups, to ensure more inclusive preservation efforts?
Oh, that's a great question. Well, it's kind of twofold. A little bit, obviously what we do is unknown until something comes up and you have to come in front of us. So there's a way to address it in that aspect. But oftentimes we've had a couple applications in the past where you have to come through the HPC first. So you see the HPC sign, so you come and you don't know what's going on, and it's not the forum of where we talk about that. So I think if there's a better way, and Paige and I were just chatting about this, like, is there a packet we can give to people, that live in a district, like, so that they know that this is happening, whether that's, the Droid Hills District or Soapstone Ridge or another one, so they know, like, what we do and who we are and when you have to come in front of us. So just trying to find ways that make what we do more tangible and known. So.
Great. Thank you very much for that thorough response.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Longspires and Commissioner Terry. We were just talking about some of what has been in the news lately from a historic perspective and some of the challenges. And so one that I shared was in reference to the Capitol and the desire to build the walkway right into the side of the Capitol. But then another was Georgia State University's decision to tear down one of the buildings and then reaffirming that just last week. So there have been some, pretty conflictual, challenges, recently. Commissioner Terry, do you have anything?
Yeah, and so these are our standard questions.
Sure,
I think you got these 4 years ago.
Probably.
I think I voted for you back in 2021.
I was on Zoom.
I was like,
last
I recognize.
time.
Oh, that's right. It was on Zoom. Yes. Okay. So that's a funny segue because the next question that we've asked all the appointees is: historic preservation often intersects with new development. How should the commission balance preservation goals with community growth and economic development?
Yeah, that is a good question. I think that our guidelines set a good tone for what we do and what we accept, and I feel that Paige and David do a good job of meeting any applicants in the middle to help them get to the goal that they want to. There are things that we debate about on our commission meetings about, is it this, what is actually a character-defining feature, what is something that needs to be sustained, but I think there are ways to meet that end goal of promoting new development within our guidelines, and we've been able to get there on a couple more recent sessions. So,
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And Commissioner Longspires has a follow-up question for you.
Sure.
I do. So, since you have served on our HPC now for 4 years, is that correct?
4 in December.
One of the issues that we have to grapple with up here is when we have an appeal. So whenever it is appealed back to the BOC, the commissioners have to serve in this quasi-judicial role. And it puts us, to some degree, in a bad position because we can't fully represent our constituents like we do on every single other issue that comes our direction.
Right.
One of the ideas that I started speaking to the former county attorney about was leapfrogging over the commissioners so we wouldn't have to serve in this quasi-judicial role and going straight to Superior Court to handle those appeals. What is your opinion of that?
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of back and forth, and I know you're reading the minutes of or seeing the video of what we talk about in our mission, and I can imagine how it gets here versus some of our sessions. I mean, if that would get to a resolution faster or give them a more quick response without you all having to kind of straddle both sides, I don't have any problem with that. Yeah.
All right.
And we now have Valerie Ross is our new our lawyer for the HPC.
I heard so, yes,
so
that's
we're excited
great.
to have her.
Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate you sharing your opinion. Yield back.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Longspires. Commissioner Patrick? Commissioner Bolton?
Yes, ma'am, and thank you for allowing me an opportunity to ask a question. I'd like you to just kind of brag on your efforts a little bit.
Okay.
And the question that I'm going to ask that allows you to do that is, can you share a time when you influenced a key decision that resulted in a meaningful win, however you would describe that win, but that resulted in a meaningful win for the HPC, and what was your approach and what was the outcome?
Oh, a meaningful win. Some of the more meaningful ones are the ones that usually have a lot of people that want to speak about it or have an opinion. I would say anytime we can get someone to preserve their historic wood windows or their slate roof, or help them find a cost alternative option. You know, we've had a lot of people who have come before us where their insurance is dropping them because of their roof and scenario, and they're in desperate, like, need this now kind of thing. And I think it's great that our commission is considering alternates to help someone get there so that they can stay in their home and not be dropped by their insurance. I think anytime we can make a decision that helps someone stay in their house and, you know, continue to live there, who has lived there for like 20 plus years, is good. So I don't have a specific one, but I think anything in regards to roofing or windows or not painting historic masonry and, you know, actually repointing it and using the material and repairing it as you should is a win.
Awesome. Thank you. I yield back.
Thank you, Commissioner Bolton, and we appreciate you so much, Ms. Holquist, and thank you for your continued willingness to serve with HBC. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
With that, committee members, we will circle back to agenda item ending in 0922 for a vote. Again, resound it. All commission districts to appoint Mr. Cornell McBride Jr. to the Post 2 of Development Authority of the DeKalb County, Post 2 of the Residential Care Facilities for the Elderly Authority, and Post 2 of the Private Hospital Authority. I'll take a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a proper first and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you so much. Next, we are going to page 2 for, again, those following along. That's 2025-0915. All districts, acceptance of the Livable Centers Initiative Grant from the Atlanta Regional Commission in the total amount of $200,000 for the Kensington LCI full update with a local match of $50,000 from the county. Great afternoon.
Great afternoon to you all. My name is April King, and I'll be before you to request an acceptance of funds for the Kensington ARC Livable Communities Grant. I wanted to just give a quick background on the LCI program first, in case you're not familiar. LCI was established in 2000, and the program has invested over $312 million in more than 130 communities throughout the Atlanta region. And DeKalb County was 1 out of 6 planning studies that was awarded,
Nice.
so we are very, very excited about that. The planning team has worked very, very hard on this application. So,
Thank you.
Yes. And so we were awarded $200,000 with a $50,000 local match. The boundary area, as you see to the right here, consists of I-285 on the east from Kensington Road to Porter Road on the southeast, Covington Highway to Kensington Road on the southwest, and Clarendon Avenue on the east, and Old Rockbridge Road on the north. And it is representing districts 3 through 7.
Yes.
So why the substitute attached to this agenda item? We had not received the contract in time for the committee of the whole, so we had just received it this past Friday. So that is what is before you now. And the ask is for you all to accept the awards. On behalf of ARC, we do have a representative, Lauren Blazik, behind us as well in support of this request.
Ms. Blazik, would you like to approach as well? You're more than welcome to, if you like.
She doesn't have to. We were just a shout out.
All right, just a shout out. All right, we're shouting you out.
Just a shout out.
All righty.
Yeah, so that's it. That's my spiel.
Thank you so much, and thank you for all of your work and your efforts on this. I love when the county can get grants, particularly when it's not a match per match, and can support this effort. So thank you again. With that, I will. Are there any questions for any of the Commissioner Terry?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. Yes, so now that we have acquired 4380 Memorial Drive, are we going to be also sort of reevaluating the land use and character area for that site as well, or are we really just trying to actually update our assumptions for every part of the boundary area?
Yes, so I do know that we are working in tandem with Jacob Fallow, and he's looking closely at those parcels for that to be a mixed-use development. So that is in progress, and it's in tandem as well with the Memorial Drive revitalization project.
Okay, and then between you and then maybe Zach, so in terms of 4380, what's the order of operations? Are we going to update the LCI first and then do a more specific master plan for 4380? Are they going to be side by side and merge at the end?
Yes, I think they can be done in tandem. The intent is to update the LCI and to do a master plan for that complex. So
Okay.
I don't know that it has to be in sequence. I think they could probably be done in tandem.
Okay, and so to that end then, so 4380 master planning will be sort of a separate activity. Will it, are we going to have it be an outside planner, or is it going to start to be part of this contract in this
Correct.
LCI? Is that right? It'll be
That's
separate
correct. That's
contract
correct.
and
That's
initiative?
correct. Yep, that's correct.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, thanks. All right, yield back.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Terry. Commissioner Longspires?
No questions.
Commissioner Patrick? Commissioner Bolton? Thank you so much. So again, 2025-0915, I will entertain a motion.
Motion to approve item 0915.
Second.
Is it the substitute? The substitute.
What?
Oh, okay. Okay, all right, motion to approve.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll circle back to the first page, 2025-0995, all commission districts, reappointment to the Historic Preservation Commission, Ms. Olivia Holquist. I'll accept the motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Going back, page 2025-1008, all commission districts, change order number 4 of contract number 1226949, meal service for seniors, provision of congregate and shelf-stable meals for senior centers. Annual contract with 2 options to renew for the use of the Department of Human Services. This contract consists of provisions of congregate and shelf-stable meals for seniors in DeKalb County. The request seeks to increase the contract funds and to ratify the purchase order 503953 awarded to Meals on Wheels Atlanta in the amount not to exceed $715,000. Hello,
Yes.
this guy. Hello, how are you doing?
Hello, Madam Chair and members of the PECS Committee. This is a change order, as stated, for shelf-stable and congregate meals for our seniors. This is adding funds to our existing contract to cover the cost for the meals. It basically appropriates the ARC allocation that we already have in our budget to cover the cost of about 80,000 meals that we do, and over the course of the year. So we're seeking to add the funds for this remaining year to cover the cost of the administration of the meals for congregate meals and shelf-stable meals to our seniors.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Are there any questions? All right. With that, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you so much. That item is approved.
Thank you.
And now we'll go to our, before we get into our previously heard items, we'll go into our presentation and our GIS update, please. Hey, how you doing? Fantastic.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair and fellow commissioners. Okay, we're ready. So thank you for allowing us to present today. We're excited about presenting this, trying to give you an update on GIS, what we have going on in the department.
Glad to have you here.
All right. So I guess we'll start off with our mission statement, and basically our mission statement is to develop an enterprise GIS extending capabilities through desktop, web, and mobile applications. Typically, GIS, we tend to look at things in these 5 priorities, data management being one, how we store, analyze, access data on a daily basis. And planning and analysis is how we take that same data, that raw data, and turn it into actionable information.
Yes.
Field mobility is another one. It's how we get those applications in the field to those workers that are out in the field. Operational awareness, giving that common operational picture to constituents, to yourselves in the form of dashboards and applications, things of that nature. And also constituent engagement. We know that the public is heavily involved in the GIS, so we like to share that information with them as well. As we just talked about, this is pretty much a diagram of a common GIS operational picture. You have the data in the center, and then you have those professional users, which is the staff. You have those knowledge workers, executive access, what we talked about in terms of those dashboards and that common operational picture. The public engagement is one of the things we're highly concerned about, and where you can work anywhere. You know, GIS has evolved over the years from a desktop application to a more mobile and on the cloud-based type enterprise integration. Basically, the department is broken down into 3 sectors, and we'll talk about our conveyance section for starters. That's where we do our deed reading. All sales and ownership transactions are taking place in this part of the department. So basically, every piece of property that changes hands comes through the department. So we're responsible for updating those properties, making those sales transactions, putting the ownership in the correct names. Surplus property, which we'll get into a little later on. That's one of the things we do in tax deed, easement, road abandonments, things of that nature. The addressing. This is one of the most critical parts of the department. We're responsible for assigning all addresses. We have almost around 390,000 addresses within the county. That address database directly ties to our 911 database, so that's a very critical part of the department. Plan review. We're part of the one-stop shop, so any plan review, we're part of the permitting process. Plan review, we're heavily involved in that. Street name approvals. We're responsible for approving all street names, making sure that there's no duplicate street names in the county, because this could be a public safety nightmare if we have duplicate street names. So we have to work in coordination with those surrounding cities, especially the city of Atlanta, those cities that assign their own street names and addresses, to make sure that we're on the same page. Atlanta is one of those cities that use post directionals. And we don't use post directionals in DeKalb, so that kind of separates us from the city of Atlanta. Right-of-ways, annexation, we're responsible for processing all annexations that go on. And then the third section is the GIS development. This is the more technical part of the department, where all the maps and the enterprise servers and the infrastructures, all that stuff take place in the web and mobile apps. We talked about those primary functions. I won't go over those again, but you can kind of see them here, what we have going on with those. One of the things we have now is the census. Every 10 years we know we have the census going on, so we're responsible for assisting in the reapportionment, making sure that we have a right count in each district in terms of those commission districts, House and Senate districts, things of that nature. Talk about revenue. We have a series of years we talk about the revenue that we collect during the years. Over the years, this has evolved because, as I told you, as GIS evolved, so has the amount of revenue that we collect. Years ago, we used to produce a lot of hard copy maps and things of that nature. Now that we've migrated to a more online nature, away from the printing maps and things of that nature, those numbers have decreased. You can see over the years, that's 23. We're going to the next year, 24. You can see those numbers kind of decrease in terms of hard copy maps, because we try to put everything online to allow citizens to access that information. One of the things that, in terms of surplus property, this is the amount of revenue that we collect over the years. You can see, years ago, we kind of did this in the department on a part-time basis, but a few years ago we hired a real estate person that strictly handles the surplus property sales. And you can see over the years, those numbers. Some were a little lower than others, but in 2025, you can see where we are year to date in terms of the revenue, in terms of surplus property. Foreclosures, that's one of the things we process as well. We go all the way back to 2012. You can see that how high those numbers were back then and how they're constantly going down each year. So far this year, we only processed about 203 foreclosures in DeKalb County. Nowhere near where we were 10 years ago in terms of those numbers. Those numbers was even higher around 2008 when we had the housing.
Sure. And Director Greer, if we can stop just for a couple of quick questions.
Yes.
That would be great. Commissioner Patrick?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just out of curiosity, so what's the process? A foreclosure is filed with the courts, and the courts turn that information over to you, and you guys
exactly
process it? And
we pull that information now in the form of a deed to secure debt, those online documents.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to, like I said, we're responsible for all ownership and sales transactions. So if that property change hands, we're responsible for making that transaction. So that's how we keep count with all the foreclosures that comes in. So when we get that deed under power, we have to take that power, that deed, and take it out of the original owner and put it in the bank or whoever foreclosing on that property.
so as soon as you get the deed, then you process
Exactly.
it at that point. Okay. And just out of curiosity, what's your typical turnaround time?
It's pretty much as soon as that deed is scanned in by the clerk of Superior Court, we're typically maybe a couple of weeks behind them.
Okay.
And once we get that deed and pull it down, we'll process it, and it'll be into the system.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Patrick. And so I have a quick question. In
Yes,
terms of the decline in number of foreclosures that are being processed through the county, can you speak to why do you think that is? There's been a decline?
One of the reasons that I can probably put my hands on is over the years, there's been a lot of squatting and a lot of erroneous deeds being filed. There was a legislation passed last year that required you to show ID when you record a document. That helped us out tremendously. So when we get a lot of those erroneous deeds, in the past we would make those deeds unworkable. And that still wouldn't prevent those suspects from still trying to get those deeds passed. So that has helped a lot in terms of filing those, that number going down. Economy, you look at the economy, so not many people as foreclosing as they were, years ago. So those are a couple of things I can think of right offhand that decline in those numbers.
Thank you for sharing that. That's important. And so I'm glad that you have mentioned just the erroneous deeds and some of the efforts to avoid folks from filing erroneous deeds, and just speaking to that the conveyance piece, and making sure that people are showing identification. I think there was some collaboration with our Superior Court clerk just to put in place some mechanism to try to avoid folks from filing and ascertaining possession and interest in folks' property where it had not been properly conveyed. So thank you for that and for sharing that. Are there any other questions from the committee members?
Not yet.
Commissioner Bolton.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And I'd like to piggyback off of one of the questions that you asked with respect to foreclosures. Well, first, before I do that, I'd like to ask, are these new foreclosures each year, or is it all active, some carried over from previous years?
No, these are new.
Oh, okay. And I would imagine that peak in 2012 was related to us coming off of the 2008 housing crisis, so it was inflated during that time and then kind of start to level out
Exactly.
thereafter.
And
Okay.
probably the further we go back, the higher the number.
I
So
would
closer,
imagine.
yes. So they've gone down tremendously since that time.
Wonderful, that's good. I mean, we're sustaining and stabilizing communities. And then the slide previous to this one, I had a question also related to just how things change over time. So in 2025, we see a significant increase up to 1.5 million. Have we adjusted for inflation? Because property values, of course, have doubled, some tripled over that period of time. Because I'm curious to know, is that number higher because housing prices are higher, because we're selling more, or we're just selling more properties of value?
Well, I can tell you with the 2025 number, that number is higher because of a particular piece of property.
Okay.
It was a lot higher than normally that we sell. If you look at the one in 2022, that same scenario, we sold a piece of property that we had for almost $1 million.
Okay.
That's why that year was a lot higher. And the same thing was in 2025. But the volume is pretty steady. It's not really that high.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, thank you. I yield back.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Bolton. You may continue,
Okay.
Director Greer. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So this is kind of the numbers in terms of the number of visitors we have in the one-stop shop. We try to minimize the number of on-site customers by putting that stuff online to kind of limit the traffic that we have in the one-stop shop. So I think we're doing a pretty good job, and you can kind of see based on the quarter the number of visitors that we have in the one-stop shop that need GIS assistance. This is basically the app gallery that we have online to kind of show you. So we have everything in the app gallery, from the tax parcel viewer to people finding their elected representatives, to this bulky item pickup from sanitation. To the address portal, to developers going online, trying to find data or looking at control points within the county. So we try to put all this information out that are at the fingertips of the citizens and developers and whatnot. The initiatives for 2025 we have listed here. One of the things we wanted to do to going into this year was to do a health check, and that's basically what we call a health check on our enterprise infrastructure to make sure we're running up to capacity for current use and future needs. And we just had that health check about a couple of weeks ago. One of the things that we need desperately is a test environment and something for disaster recovery. And we're working with IT to get to that point, because we don't want anything to happen that will have us down for any amount of time, because we're integrated with so many key business functions within the county. We talked about acquiring image storage data for some of our large-scale imagery. One of the things we're getting into now in GIS is artificial intelligence and machine learning. So we have to acquire the proper amount of hardware for allow us to do that. One of the things that, with the help of Commissioner Patrick, if we acquired a lot of the sidewalk data, one of the things we want to use to maintain that sidewalk data is machine learning and artificial intelligence to do change detection. That would eliminate a lot of staff time and help us out in terms of change detection. Another one is we need to upgrade our software, which is something that we're working on now. And one of the things in terms of we have a 3-year agreement with our vendor, Esri. Next year we'll be renewing that 3-year agreement. That enterprise agreement allows us to extend this software throughout the county. So we have currently about close to around 900 users of the software within the county. So we try to expand that number every year. The more people we can get to using the software, I think the better we'll be. And of course, in personnel, we will want to fill vacant positions. Some of our accomplishments, we created a data request management center within the department. This is basically a ticketing system, that dashboard that we have to allow us to see where we are, some of the initiatives, how close are we coming to meeting those benchmarks, those performance measures within the department. We talked about the sidewalk application that we created. We deployed the 2025 imagery. The imagery is one of the things that we acquire every year because the county changes constantly. So the county typically flies the county on an annual basis to get those updates of everything that's going on in the county. We recently received a NACO award for the permitting tracker that we're pretty pleased about. One of the things we created was the boundary annexation survey. That's a survey where it's required every year that each county update their boundaries prior to the census. So every year we have a survey that we have to create and send it back to the Census Bureau that updates those boundaries in preparation of the decennial census. One of the things we've embarked on recently is GIS training. We recently completed a training with the Transportation Department, and that went over well. We updated the Homeless Census app. That's an annual thing that we do with the community development where we help them create a program that allowed them to go out and do that point-in-time count of the homeless within DeKalb County. Also, we completed a SPLOS web viewer using Experience Builder that's out there on the website that we talked about in terms of those applications. Any questions?
Yes, thank you again, Director Greer. And so just looking through some of the accomplishments and, I was at NACO this past year, and, you guys just amazing for permit tracking, particularly where that's been an area of opportunity for the county for some time. To receive an achievement award related to that, I think is no small feat, and congratulations to you and your team for doing so.
Thank you.
I also see it appears, and correct me if I'm wrong, but in areas of opportunity would be community training and support in terms of what's available, particularly as it comes to SPLOST, and where they can see different information themselves. But it just seems like there's an opportunity to inform and educate the community on what's available through the GIS system. Can you speak to that and what your thoughts are?
Yes.
And how we can support that?
And I think we have to do a better job internally of promoting, telling people what's out there and allowing people to go online and see those things. Because there's a wealth of information out there, it's just a matter of marketing. And that's one of the things that I think I should embark on going forward.
Okay.
One of the things we want to do is create a GIS steering committee. And in that steering committee, one of the things that will allow us to do to move around to those different departments, because so many people don't realize the power of GIS. They think it's simply just map making and things of that nature, but it's so pervasive and it affects so many different fields of discipline.
I completely agree. Well, again, seems like area opportunity, and of course, PECS and District 3, happy to work with you with getting that additional education information out to the public, because to the extent they can ascertain, details themselves, then, all the better, right?
Yes.
And we could just ask those very specifics, but I agree, that's an opportunity for us to delve in more. Commissioner Terry?
Yes, sir.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Director Greer, for the presentation. I have a request for you. It's related to the SPLOST sort of mapping and sort of trying to help folks visualize where the SPLOST investments are.
Right.
Could y'all help us kind of, and I know there's like the SPLOST tracker and with the roads and everything. So I don't know, could y'all just kind of get with Atlas and the SPLOST team and help us visualize where the impact of SPLOST 1 and I guess up-to-date SPLOST 2 have been.
Okay.
So it's just very clear, because I think we get a lot of comments about, well, it's not being spent over here, over there. And I think from just kind of looking at all the things we've approved over the years, I feel like there has been an equitable distribution, but I would like to just have a more data-centered, but also in the GIS magic of visualizing a lot of complex categories, whether they be roads, parks, bridges, things like that, that could just help us visualize where the impact of SPLOST 1 and 2 have been. And I'm leaving that open because I'm sure that y'all probably have ideas on how we could, express that on through the systems.
Okay. We'll work on it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Terry. Commissioner Long-Spears?
Thank you so much, and always good to see you. Appreciate you being with us today. You have loosely spoke about one of my questions, and I'm just hoping you can expand on it.
Okay.
And so you've talked about some of your ideas and ways that you can see that the GIS department will grow. Can you just talk a little bit more specifically about where you see our GIS department in the next 3 to 5 years? And if you want to also expand on the use of AI and some of the other technology as well that you mentioned previously in your presentation.
Yes. In terms of expansion, I think there's so much that I can talk about in terms of expansion. Well, we'll start with AI. One of the things that AI uses in GIS is the ability to do change detection. We were just out in San Diego at the International User Conference for GIS.
Nice.
And it was probably 120 different countries and different vendors from all over the world. One of the things that was at the top of the agenda was AI, and how different jurisdictions are using AI in terms of getting efficiency among government. We saw everything that ranged from pavement management systems, where they detected potholes using drone programs. One of the things we saw was they had on their website and where the planning and sustainability department had online where you could use AI to actually make a request, and the chatbot would actually spit out the answers using AI. So we've talked to a bunch of those companies about bringing that kind of stuff to the county, and we have a few meetings already set up the way we're going to expand on that. But where I see us in terms of moving this is one of the things we have to concentrate on. We have to have the infrastructure in place to expand that way, and that's what we're working on now in terms of building that infrastructure. One of the things we need, as I spoke before, we need a test environment. Anytime we do upgrades, we have to have something to test on. We have to have disaster recovery. If something, forbid, catastrophic say happen, or maybe a cyber attack, we have to have that disaster recovery where we can be up and running within a few hours at the most. So that's where I see us expanding in terms of infrastructure first, and then we can expand on those other items in terms of developing a more robust GIS system.
Thank you. The reason I asked this question is that I attended both the legislative and annual NACO conferences, and attended a session on AI. And the presenters submitted to us that the GIS department is one of the departments that is going to be able to truly grow by leaps and bounds with all of the new technology that is out there. However, the counties are still kind of grappling as to how to manage the influx of the options and the concerns over safety and security. Right. So would you like to share a little bit more about your concerns over safety and security as you consider the usage of AI and some of these other platforms?
Well, I mean, I don't want to step on IT toes about safety and security, but I can speak on, as I talked about it before, is the infrastructure. AI takes a lot of, you have to have the infrastructure in place because it's heavy intensive computing. So if you don't have that infrastructure in place, it's going to be tough. And that's one of the focuses that my focus is on right now. I would have to defer to IT in terms of security because that's more under their purview. So I would defer to them.
All right. Are you actively working with the IT department?
We are.
Okay.
We are.
And then you threw the softball for me for my final question is you did mention how you'd like to see GIS further supporting emergency and disaster response. How do you currently do it?
Well, one of the things in terms of response, we work heavily with the police department. We work heavily with fire and rescue. One of the things that we're going to implement in terms of moving forward in terms of expansion is what we call is a piece of software that was within our suite called ArcGIS Mission. DeKalb County used this during the World Series. What it does is give you a common operational picture of everything that's going on within your county during that event. It places all the public safety personnel in contact with each other in terms of software, knowing where each person is. So it ties that each piece of public safety, fire, police, EMS together, and it gives you that common operational picture where you can see what's going on at an event every time. We're going to implement that probably this year, and in hopes of the World Cup coming here next year. So that's one of the goals of GIS is to implement that ArcGIS Mission going forward.
All right. Thank you so much. Yield back.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Long-Spears. Yes, so we have the World Cup, but then also we have the Super Bowl in 2028. So,
exactly.
I'm getting it. Expansion, we need infrastructure, test environment, and disaster recovery.
Yes.
Got it. Commissioner Patrick?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Stacy, just want to follow up with something that Commissioner Terry mentioned.
Okay.
Since you're talking about SPLOST data being mapped, could you also add in LMIG money? So whatever LMIG funds have been expended for road paving or road maintenance, if that was doable, I think that would be helpful as well. And then, so I really love the work that y'all have done with the sidewalk mapping. I was wondering, what would it take if you could have it, instead of as a standalone app that you click on, have it in the parcel viewer as one of the options that you can select to turn on, to toggle on or off? Is that something that would be possible?
The sidewalk?
The sidewalk data.
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay. I just think it would be more. If it was there, sort of, the way I look at GIS is the parcel viewer is the first thing to really look at, and if it was in that menu of things, then I think it might get a little more usage.
Yeah, we can add it as a layer where you can turn it on.
I would be grateful.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Patrick. Commissioner Bolton?
When you mentioned under your GIS initiatives, you indicated for the ESRI, you have 900 users.
Mm-hmm.
What is the estimated demand? Because you said you wanted to broaden that across the county.
Yeah, well, as departments comes with these initiatives, to give you an example, sanitation. One of the things we did for them is we created a bulk item pickup application. And what this allows is those people in the field to go out and when they pick these items up, they have on their phone applications that they fill out, take a picture, and they send it in, and it goes back to the database in real time. Well, those users have to have licenses. So as they bring on more applications like that, it requires more licenses. Code enforcement, they're one of the ones that use applications, GIS applications. So as they bring on more people, as they institute these new applications, it requires more license. So that's what we're looking at in terms of expansion. As we move these applications to more departments, that's where the expansion is going to come in.
Okay. And with that, that's going to, it sounds like a significant increase in both the contract and cost.
Yeah. The cost of the contract is based on a number of factors. It's based on the population of the jurisdiction, number of users, number of software licenses deployed, number of servers that we have. So all of those things are going to increase going forward because, as I stated, we're going to have to have a test environment, which is basically a replication of your production environment. We're going to have something for disaster recovery, which is going to require new servers and new software to go along with that.
Thank you. And I just want to commend you also on thinking forward with the marketing and branding. I know when we visited your office months and months ago, that was something we talked about then, and to know that it's still at the forefront, and that you guys are thinking about the fact that we have World Cup coming soon and the impact it could have for not only the county, our visitors, our residents, and so District 7, as mentioned before, we're here to support as well.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you.
Thank you. One of the things I want to mention before,
And I think it's called it's Click Text Fix. I think is see Click Fix.
Oh,
there
Click
we
Fix.
go.
I've seen
Yes,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, I've
See
seen
Click
it.
Fix.
See, click.
You said you wanted to follow up on what? I'm sorry.
One of the things I wanted to, we also have a drone program. So we have a certified drone pilot on staff. One of the things that he did, and he submitted this at the conference, was he did a 3D mesh of the Snap Finger water treatment plant. So we're proud about to receive national or international recognition on the 3D mesh we did of the Snap Finger water treatment plant. So.
Absolutely love that.
I yield that.
And I appreciate that so much. Thank you so much for your presentation and taking the time to, I'm sorry, did you have, okay, and answering our questions. Thank you. Areas of opportunity for certain. Next, we're going to continue to our previous heard agenda items. Going back to page 2, the first of those previously heard items is 2025-0920, Commission Districts 3 and 7 approval of the Shoals Creek 1 and Shoals Creek 2 and John Evans Legacy Park Master Plan, formerly Shoal Creek 3, located at 3630 and 3643 Glenwood Road and 3095 Wadsworth Mill Place, Decatur, Georgia 30032. Hello, how you doing?
Fantastic. Good afternoon, Madam Chair, Commissioners. My name is Caleb Wittenmeyer. I'm the Green Space Manager with Recreation, Parks, and Cultural Affairs Department. Happy to present 2 of our master plans to you today. I promise we only have 2 more after this before we're finally caught up and moving on to the next plan.
All right, then I'm going to sound the other item that I believe that you're going to be referring to in your presentation, and that's 2025-0940, Commission Districts 3 and 6, the approval of the DeKalb Memorial Master Plan from 2019, located at 353 Wilkerson Drive, Atlanta 30317.
Fantastic.
Continue.
We'll start with the Shoal Creeks Park Master Plan. This master plan serves District 3 and Super District 7. This is a unique plan covering 3 parks, Shoal Creek Park 1, Shoal Creek Park 2, and John Evans Legacy Park. Combined, they total 85 acres. They lie from north to south, from White Oak Drive to Glendale Court. Very unique plan. We wanted to create one cohesive plan centered around connectivity of those 3 parks. That's why we did it all together. This plan was developed with a strong emphasis on safety, recreation, natural preservation, and as I said, connectivity. Public input meetings held from late 2022 to 2023 shaped the guiding principles and priorities for these 3 parks. Shoal Creek Park 1, the key priorities included enhanced security measures, invasive species management, drainage improvements, playground expansions, and ball field improvements. Moving down the line south to Shoal Creek Park 2. They also focused on security, invasive species removal. A multi-use trail goes in there, which ties in great to the Trails Master Plan that we just finished up. They focused on community gardens, area for pickleball courts and improved park entrances. John Evans Legacy Park, which was formerly Shoal Creek Park 3, emphasize active area expansion with playgrounds, pavilions, again, a multi-use trail, as well as nature trails with a wetland boardwalk and improved creek access. Together, the Shoal Creek Parks will offer a wide range of rec opportunities while preserving the area's natural landscapes. The 2023 master plan estimated a combined cost of $13.2 million for planned improvements. That cost is projected to rise to $14.8 million in 2025, with each park receiving targeted investments designed to meet specific community needs. At Shoal Creek Park 1, a Porta-John shelter was installed through a Park Pride grant with matching funds provided by District 3 and District 7 in 2023. Improvements for 2024 and 2025 include renovations to the concessions building and upgrades to the ball fields. At Shoal Creek Park 2, a new playground, a new pavilion, and upgrades to the basketball courts were funded through SPLOST and have all been completed. At John Evans Legacy Park, a new playground was completed in 2024, again further enhancing rec opportunities for the surrounding communities. This comprehensive plan ensures that Shoal Creek Parks will continue to serve as safe, inclusive, and welcoming space for residents and visitors for years to come. Do you want to take questions after this next one, or do you have any questions about that specific master plan?
You can continue. It doesn't seem you have any questions at this point. Thank you so much for asking.
Wonderful. Okay, DeKalb Memorial Park Master Plan serves District 3 and Super District 6 and was developed through a collaborative process with community members in 2018 and 2019. Residents voiced the importance of balancing recreation with the park's natural and peaceful characters, as well as improving safety and pedestrian access. This plan's priorities include the creation of a new disc golf course, an expanded multi-use trail through the park, and enhanced playgrounds. Daylighting Hardy Creek to restore its natural flow was a key environmental feature. Additional improvements include permanent restrooms, upgraded community gardens, resurfacing of the basketball court, and expanded seating areas along the creek and orchard. The estimated project cost was $2.3 million as of 2019, with an updated projection of $3 million in 2025. The master plan ensures DeKalb Memorial will remain a community hub with modern amenities while honoring its natural beauty. Improvements to the park have included completing the disc golf course. A new playground was funded in 2022 through a community development block grant, and further playground elements were completed in 2023 with funding via Park Pride grant and matching funds from Districts 3 and 6. And I'm happy to take any questions.
Thank you so much. Really do appreciate it, and to see these parks coming into fruition. Also, the security measures that are being implemented. And Commissioner Bolton, there you go. It's not an ice skate park in Shoals Creek one, but there's at least a skate park. There was a joke where she was saying ice skate park, but there's at least a skate park. But just happy to see the different amenities, from a dog park to pickleball, and plenty of opportunities for our families and communities just to enjoy themselves. I'll open up the questions to any committee members first, if they have any. Commissioner Long-Spears.
Thank you so much. And Caleb, I just want to say what a pleasure it has been, and always hopefully will be, working with you.
Thank you.
Super thorough and so kind. My constituents love you, so please keep showing up in District 2.
Appreciate that.
I don't have a question specifically about your presentation, but Commissioner Messiah just brought up something. Could you don't have to do it now or talk through it, but could you send me a list of all of the dog parks in DeKalb County that you're aware of?
Absolutely.
Unincorporated and in cities.
Sure, yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
Yield
my
back.
pleasure.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Long-Spears. Commissioner Terry? Commissioner Patrick? Commissioner Bolton?
Thank you. For the Shoal Creek 1, 2, and John Evans, for the security measures, is that primarily cameras?
Yes, we're looking at flock cameras in those areas. We've talked about various lighting situations, if we need to add gates at some of those parks. So we're kind of looking at all-encompassing security measures that we can take care of
Okay, but we haven't
Some are more
settled
viable
on,
than others. Yeah, we're working on the cameras now.
and we haven't settled on anything yet, but those have been in the discussion.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cameras, lighting, you said potentially a gate. Was there another one that I missed?
No, and then we've
Okay.
talked about also opening up the vegetation,
Okay.
invasive species management, just so you can see into the park. Some of them are a bit hidden. Yeah.
Okay, that was it. I yield back.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Bolton. All right, seeing as there are no other questions related to this item, we'll take them separately if you don't mind. That's first 0920, Commission Districts 3 and 7.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The next is 0940, Commission Districts 3 and 6.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, we've got just a few minutes to go here and have a hard stop. And we have FAB next, we have a small, a short agenda there, respectful of my colleague, and I do have a hard stop as well. So I will go to the last agenda item, if you would not mind, just because it seemingly has been on longer than the others, and trying to pay consideration to some of those agenda items that have been on a bit longer. If you're following along, that is page 3. That's 2023-1137, all commission districts. And that is to allocate an amount not to exceed $300,000 to the following organizations for the provision of comprehensive reproductive care and access to Plan B for women in DeKalb County. The first is to the Feminist Women's Health Care Center, not to exceed $250,000. And then number 2 is to ARC Southeast for an amount not to exceed $50,000. Again, that's been on our agenda since 2023, and I know it's also a budget item, so I wanted to make sure we addressed that. And Commissioner Terry, would you like to speak to this item?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair, for the opportunity. And yes, Commissioners, so just as a primer for this agenda item, Georgia has one of the highest maternal mortality rates in the nation. And right here in DeKalb County, too many mothers, especially Black mothers, face preventable risk during pregnancy and childbirth. State data shows that nearly 9 out of 10 pregnancy-related deaths in Georgia are preventable. By approving this investment, we can provide target-proven solutions, community-based programs, blood pressure monitoring, STD screenings, and the budget is actually being handed out so you can see exactly what would be funded through this proposal, as well as community support, including even transportation, that hopefully would be the basic prenatal and postnatal care for low-income families who would not be able to access this care efficiently, to save lives, reduce costly emergency room visits, and ensure that every mother has the support that she needs during and after birth. This is not just healthcare spending, it's a commitment to provide equity, prevention, and a stronger families in DeKalb County. And just in the budget discussions over the last several weeks, we have I have agreed, just as the sponsor of this legislation, to reduce the funding request by $100,000 lower, and so the updated request would be $150,000 for Feminist Women's Health Center, and then $50,000 for ARC Southeast, which is related to Plan B distribution to the community. And I'll be happy to pause if there's any questions or comments. No sub, but we can make it from the floor since it's just changing the amount.
Okay. Commissioner Longspears, do you have any questions?
I do not. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Commissioner Patrick?
Hey, what you've presented, I think, is fantastic. It looks like a lot of what this is talking, or what this does, also coincides with, was it the HERC project or the MERC project that we had come up a little while ago, where they were actually putting additional funding into communities as you've described. Is there a benefit to having this standalone as you're describing, or would there be more bang for the buck if it was sort of dovetailed into that other program?
So the Feminist Women's Health Center is based in DeKalb County, and so everything here would be specifically for DeKalb County residents, and the way the law department helped us craft it is they've provided the discounted cost, 50% discount, and free cost, so you can see how many we'd be serving. So 1,856 total under the charity care, and then 928 under the indigent care. So I think the issue that we are hearing from reproductive health care advocates is that there's not enough facilities available in DeKalb County. The Feminist Women's Health Center is one of those facilities that serves Metro Atlanta, but the funding would specifically be for DeKalb County residents.
Okay.
You have a question? Okay, you can finish. Okay.
The question was, is there more bang for the buck working with that other group? But if you're saying the issue is having more prevalence, different locations.
I think it's just the availability of the providers in DeKalb County. I will say this is one-time funding, so to the extent that the administration's sort of overall health equity analysis that I think was done, I'm not sure how much they dove into maternal health, but I certainly would support a longer-term strategy related to any other programs in this way.
Is there a way to have this funding sort of try and align with some of the other objectives or data collection that, and I apologize for getting the name, I think it was HERC? Do you know?
Was it through the Board of Health?
It was Merck.
It was Merck, okay.
Merck through Human Services.
Yeah, and it was, I guess whatever data comes from this or whatever benefits are perceived to come to this, is there a way to make sure that whatever they collect data-wise can be also sort of aligned with what Merck is preparing so that we have sort of a unified understanding of what we're getting for our dollars, and then perhaps developing a better idea moving forward on the best way to allocate dollars in the future?
I think the answer is yes. I mean, I think the way the law department, they kind of made something very ironclad here. This is not just kind of a frilly whoever comes in. It's very specific to different types of services. Mm-hmm. So I think, Mr. Linkus, I think the goal, as if this is approved, any subsequent reporting would have to fall in line with what services were used for each sort of line item. So I think part of the contract, I imagine, would be for a reporting back on what was spent, what was it used for, mm-hmm. and absolutely, I think we could certainly ask them to share, the HIPAA-approved data with the Merck program. Absolutely, I think that's a great idea.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Patrick. Commissioner,
Thank you.
Long-Spears?
Yep, just a brief comment, and I just wanted to thank Commissioner Terry and the folks you're working with for providing this incredibly detailed budget. I did request it a while back, and so I'm appreciative, and just gave me a lot more clarity on what they're trying to accomplish with the funding. Yield back.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Long-Spears. Commissioner Bolton? Thank you so much. All right, and I remember this agenda item, and I know that it has had some evolution, and just based on the basis of it, I'm going to abstain from this vote and not give any comments related to it. So that is my position on this vote.
Okay, open the floor.
So opening the floor.
All right, motion to approve item 1137 with the reduction for the Feminist Women's Health Center to $150,000, and so the total amount would be $200,000.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
With that, I appreciate you, ladies and gentlemen. We had a little bit of delay getting started, but we are not too far off in our stop. And with that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you so much. All those in favor? Aye. Thank you again, ladies and gentlemen.